back to the channel, everybody. I'm gonna get into the hoop houses here and give you an update. Today is Mother's Day, 5/11, and before we get into the hoop houses, anybody know how to get rid of this? It looks like a grass, but it's not. It's called nut sedge. From what I've read and heard and everything like that, you really gotta spray it or take it out completely because it can reroot and grow. And I've got it everywhere, so I didn't remember having it as heavy in prior years, but I've got it very heavy this year. And I got to be very careful on what I spray on it because I don't want to damage the plant. So everything I've read about what to spray to kind of eradicate it could potentially harm the plants in the future. So if you guys see anything or know of anything for sure that you've used that hasn't damaged your plants, let me know. Again, only if you've used it and have experience, and then I'll look into it. But moving forward, we will get into the plants here. We'll start on the close side here, and let me zoom out just a hair. These two plants here are the 2551 Ford. Looking pretty good, vining out nicely, a couple feet long here, got a nice vine tip. I did get some heat stress on that one today, so this one was leading the pack until I saw that, and now I'm probably switching my views over to this one. Plant looks good, same thing, stretching out nice. It's got a little bit longer internodal length, which is okay, but looking at that yellowing on the leaf, nothing to be worried about. I see a lot of people concerned. There's a couple things that cause it. Some of it's just genetics. Some of it is the cooler weather when that leaf was developing, magnesium deficiency. So there's a few different things that cause it, but again, if you see that bright yellow on there, typically it's not that big a deal. Color on the rest of the leaf looks pretty darn good, if I say so myself. It's kind of the color that you shoot for, but secondary growth is starting to pop out, and it's laying down pretty good. Just got to get the rest of it down so she can start running and I can get these hoop houses off. We'll swing around to the other side of the hoop and I'll show you the next plant. So we are on the opposite side of the hoop house. This plant is the 2190 Bledsoe. Very good plant. I made some decisions. There was a plant right here, double planted, and it got a little bit of that same heat burn, so it went today. It was a little further behind than the other one that's over there, so I just wanted to go ahead and get it out of the way and get this one laid down. It looks like it's very sturdy, should lay down just fine, and go on from there. I'll show you the vine tip. Again, beautiful color on the leaves. Warmer temperatures today, so to be expected. Just gonna make sure that well watered. I just got done watering all the plants about 15 minutes ago and doing a little weeding, so we'll move on to the next hoop house. So we'll look at these two plants here. This is the 2560 Gingers. Have made a decision, but I'm going to wait till they're fully laid down before I pick one. From this angle, looking at the leaves and everything, you'd think this one is the keeper, but it's actually going to be that one. And we'll swing around the other side of the hoop house and show you why. So do you see it? Yeah, there's a split right in the crown there. So if I had to go with it, I wouldn't be very concerned, and I'll clip in a short video on a different plant and show you why. I did some pruning. I'll let you know what I did here, show you. So I got these two plants side by side. You can already tell I trimmed this one up pretty good. So this one is the one I'm going to be going with, but I'm not getting too crazy with it right now. I did trim up some of the trash parts, so had a couple of secondaries coming out of the first two nodes. Not going to keep those. Kind of wait until you get it to lay down, and this crown will make more of an arch, And so you clean up anything before the touchdown. So anything from the part where the crown comes out of the ground until which it touches down again. You don't want any secondary growth or extra growth there, because don't want any undue stress that needs to be at that point. So this other plant was doing well. It actually has a little bit longer internodal length, so distance between, and it was stretching a little bit, but it's got a split here, and it's lateral, so it goes in the direction of the way that the vascular system actually works with the plant. So if I had to go with this, I could. Not a big deal as far as that goes. And actually a lot of times in the season, July and August, we can have stump issues or crown issues with that area where moisture builds up, or pressure in the plant builds up, and we actually have to create a split. So that actually may be a pro in some situations in high humidities, but it's not ideal to start with. You just don't want a ton of wounds. So we're gonna let them run. We're gonna let them play out what they're gonna do, and we'll see what this one does. If this one lays down, does what it's supposed to, and everything's good, we'll go with that one because it's a more ideal plant. But this one would still be a comparable backup for sure. So we'll let them lay down. We'll let this one run a little bit, waiting for this kickstand leaf. We'll get that out of the way shortly. It's still kind of going straight up in the air. I like for that to start to pitch forward a little bit before I take that kickstand out, and then I'll replace that with a little bit of dirt and a couple skewers just to guide it down so we don't have any extra stress. So far so good, but that's just kind of what I look at when I'm pruning up these young plants and seeing what they're gonna do. So I'm gonna end up going with this one. It's just as good. I did trim off a few earlier leaves just because of the way that they were laying and turning the plant. So now that I'm straightening it out, it should be fine. Color of leaves is good. Vine tip is good. The secondaries are showing up pretty good. This one on the left here, it's coming out a little wonky, but more than likely I won't keep that one anyways, just because of where it's at. I usually like to lay that vine completely down, and then I'll trim off anything close to where it bends and touches with the ground. So not that big a deal, but overall not too bad. Just a little bit of a change in the game right there. It happens every year some way or another. Go on to the next hoop house. All right, looking at these two, it should be an easy indicator on which one I'll end up going with. The one on the right here, that's actually a backup. I don't know if I showed that in my last video, but that's the 2376 Bayuk. I actually started that one about 10 days after the plant on the left. I'll clip in a picture just to show you the difference, but this one wasn't taking off right away. A little concerned, so I wanted to make sure I got something in behind it, and this one definitely spurred that one to kind of kick it into the next gear. Gave it a little bit of a kick in the behind and got it to go. So again, it's more of a mindset for me than the plants themselves, but just wanted to give that one a little bit of run for its money, so it took off. But this is the 2097 Kaismore. Good plant right now. It's actually becoming one of the better plants in the hoop houses. I'll swing around to the opposite side and show you that. All right, there's a side-by-side comparison. That one's just showing a tiny bit more green than this one is, but if you look at its newer growth, it's coming out real good. Nice thick stem right down there, secondary shooting out okay, so looks like that'll be fine. Just got to get them laid down all the way, but not too crazy. Worried about that one now that it's starting to go. So go on to the last hoop house. All right, this one's been the strongest out of the gate. This is my 1481 Bayuk. Kind of hard to tell from this angle, but this one's the longest, a little bit bigger leaves. I pulled the plant next to it, and that was the video that I clipped in earlier showing the split in the the crown of the plant. So that was one of the reasons I pulled it, was just to get it out of the way. This one's leaves were starting to get very large, and the other one was just crowding it out. So wanted to go ahead and just get it out of the way and let this one start to go. Again, it's almost laid down and should be down in the next few days. Show you the other side. There it is. I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit. It's kind of hard to see. But there you go. Nice vine tip over there. Secondary shooting out okay. Trimmed off a couple of them already at the beginning. But anytime you see those little tendrils start to take off and come out, one about to catch it down there at the bottom, usually means that it's going to start running soon. So always a good sign. You can kind of see a little bit of lightness in the leaves. I'm getting the color back in them. One thing I will say is this is a little further behind than what I'm normally at this time of year, and part of that is I did a treatment to my soil to try to get rid of some diseases. So I did use a mustard meal as well as a xylitol or oxidate product, which is pretty much hydrogen peroxide and an acid product. And in doing that, I killed off a lot of the bad guys, but I also killed off the good guys. So I am seeing some of the repercussions on the plants as far as them kind of taking off early on. I probably should have added biologicals a little sooner. So in future years, if I end up doing it again, definitely reintroducing the biologicals sooner is important to kind of get them established and going. I didn't use soil heating cables this year. I typically don't. I did last year, and I didn't really see a big improvement, but this year I probably could have used the extra 5 or 8 degrees. That's the difference in my soil. Most of my hoops soil temps are right around 65 degrees for the soil. Sometimes they get a little higher, not quite 72, but they mostly maintain between 65 and 70 degrees. And I probably could have used an extra 5 degrees, would have kind of got these things rolling a little bit, got the soil biology going a little quicker. Other than that, I've getting them a little bit of kale mag, and that's about it. But biologicals, compost teas, things like that is what I've given them now. I don't give them just compost as the tea. I use more biological products with some food sources in there. So other than that, that's all I got for today. Catch you guys on the next update. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them below. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.